Hi, my name is Tondria Simon Allen, and I am the executive chef and owner of Celestial Cafe, Bar, and Restaurant. And welcome to my home. I am going to show you how to prepare our mint garlic lamb chops today, starting with initially marinating them. I marinated them overnight with our salt, pepper, basil, and garlic. And this is what we have. And this is what we considered a full rack of lamb. They are French cut because the bones are showing. And you always typically have 7 bones for your lamb shank. And you usually cook it all together. A lot of times they're served separately, cut like this, but they're actually supposed to be cooked whole. And we're going to cook them today at medium rare, which is 130 degrees. We don't want to go too much higher than that, maybe to 145 for your well done, but we're going to go today at 130 for our medium rare lamb chops. So the first thing we want to do is to get our oven hot, but we want medium heat because we are going to be using mint jelly, which has a lot of sugars in it, and it will caramelize and burn. And also your garlic. You don't want your garlic to burn as well. So we want to heat our pan up, and we're going to light it. And again, as I say, we're going to get our pan to a medium, not too high, because we don't want to burn our mint jelly and our garlic when we start to cook. And we're going to start with oiling our pan. And you can use just a regular vegetable oil or an olive oil for your pan. And if we use the olive, I use the vegetable oil, and then I add a no salt butter to it as well. And I add the butter for extra flavor, and the combination of the two together prevents my butter from burning because my oil has a higher burn rate than my butter. And we want to add that extra flavor. But again, you have an option of either olive oil or your vegetable oil and your no salt butter. You can control the salt content if you use your no salt butters when you're cooking, because that does control how much salt you're being used as opposed to using your salted butter. So I always highly recommend in all your cooking and baking to use no salt. And again, like I say, we marinated overnight with our garlic, so we rubbed our meats down with the salt, the pepper, and we just used dry basil. Fresh basil is fine as well, and a minced garlic that we put on and marinated overnight. Both sides we covered. And sometime you may have to go in and pull the meat. This was already trimmed, so you can use your knife and pull some of the excess fat back from off of your lamb chops, but these were already done for us, and the skin was already Frenched on our bones. And to prepare them, like I said previously, you should prepare or cook your lamb chops whole and then place them in the oven to finish them off, and cut your lamb chops then to eat. But we're going to do medallions today, so we will start off where I'll let you see how we put a sear on our whole lamb chop. And again, you can finish it off in the oven, or you can cut each one individually like we have here, and these are our medallions. But I would highly suggest, if you're doing it for the first time, to cook them whole, because with the medallions you can overcook them very quickly because they're very small. So we don't want to overcook our lamb chops, and that's why we want to always test them, the temperature of the meat with a thermometer, so that we don't overcook our lamb chops. Because if you overcook them to 145 or higher, they tend to be gamey and tough, and because they are our baby lamb chops, we don't want to overcook the meat and to be too tough. So again, they are preferably best to enjoy at a medium rare temperature. Okay, so we have some smoke coming now because our pan is heated, and we've put our vegetable oil in the pan, and we're going to add a little butter to it, and we're going to turn the temperature down some because again, we don't want to burn our garlic. So I'm just adjusting the temperature. And cast iron, that just gives the best sear on any of your meats, whether you're cooking salmon, chicken, or any types of protein. Your cast iron pan gives an absolutely wonderful sear on your meats. Again. All right, we're gonna put our oil in. Good, that's good. And turn it up just a little bit and get it a medium hot. We're going to add some butter. And that's going to begin to melt. And we're going to put our vegetable oil in first because that takes longer to heat up and then our butter does. And we don't want nothing to burn. So then we're going to add our rosemary. So that give us the aromatics. Oh wow, that smells so good. That smells like a Christmas morning. We're going to add our aromatics to it. And we're going to add our garlic. Okay, and we start to let that air infuse together with our rosemary and our garlic, and you'll notice that the garlic is starting to get a toasty, nutty smell to it, and it just starts to turn just a little brown. And at that point, that's where we want to add our mint jelly because of the high concentration of sugar that's in the mint jelly, and this is what gives it its awesome flavor. We want to add that to the pan next. And if you need a little bit more oil, we want to do that as well. Because we want enough oils in the pan that when we start the cooking, we're going to start to spoon that infused oils on our lamb chops. So again, our rosemary, our butter, our vegetable oil, our garlic, and our mint jelly is starting to cook. And we just want to place now our marinated lamb chops in the pan. And when we put them in the pan, we're going to leave it. We don't want to keep playing with it or touching it because we want to get that nice brown color sear on our lamb chops. So we're going to let them cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on one side. And then we're going to turn them over on the second side and let them cook for an additional 2 to 3 minutes. And if you're still not sure about it, we can place them in the oven and finish them off cooking again, so that your garlic and your oils do not burn. So we can take them off the fire, so we can turn. So now we're starting to get the color, and we want to cook them for another 1 to 2 minutes on this side. And we can take our spoon from our butter and just lift our pan up, and we grab some of that infused oils because it's hot me. And just start basting your lamb chops. Basting it with your rosemary oils, the garlics, and now our mint jelly has melted. And at this point, we can turn the fire off and let them continue to cook because we don't want our mint jelly to burn. Okay, and we can touch them to tell the temperature. Turn over. You can, at this moment, we can take it, place it in the oven for about 5 minutes to cook internally to our temperature of 130 to 145 for medium rare to well done. And our lamb chops are complete. And I thank you for joining us today on how we present our garlic mint jelly lamb chops.